Hello, my name is Arjan Timmerman. With me is Mortillaro. We are here at CiscoLive in Barcelona at Tech Field Day Extra. And we've been talking about Cisco now. It's CiscoLive. So the last one for today is the HyperFlex platform. And I'll get it out right away. It was HXAP. What a name. I still struggle to say it that way, but if you just say HyperFlex application platform, it might make more sense, but the name, they need to change it. What's your opinion?
Oh yeah, of course. The name needs to change, but I think that I've been following HyperFlex for quite a long time now at CiscoLive. This is my fifth CiscoLive and my 50 FDX here, and it's my fourth coverage of HyperFlex. Actually, this is my fifth coverage of HyperFlex. So what can we say about that? So HyperFlex is an hyperconverged infrastructure solution from Cisco. It was originated from SpringPath, which developed this thing called Halo, and this was Cisco invested into it, and then eventually they purchased it and they turned that into HyperFlex. So long story short, it started with basic capabilities. I've been ranting about it for 4 years, except that every iteration was better and better, and we can say that since last year, since January 19, HyperFlex is actually a good, solid, mainstream hyperconverged infrastructure. But now, is hyperconverged enough? Is it enough today in 2020 to say I have a hyperconverged solution?
First of all, it will depend, of course. What company do you
if,
have
if
and
you
what
need
is
to run
needed
10
for it?
VMs on free host,
That's it.
maybe it's okay. Yeah.
And there are use cases for that.
Of course.
If there might be factories that use HyperFlex, I know use cases in big factories where they use vSphere just for a free node cluster to do some stuff. So there's use cases for everything. But if you're talking about enterprise IT and you're talking about bigger environments
use cases, right?
and use cases, no, that's not enough.
Absolutely, and that's where they came up with this thing called HXAP, if I state right. Okay, so I'm gonna give my the architectural view very fast, and then Arjan is probably going to tell us his impressions about that because he has a lot of experience with the enterprise deployments. So we have two things in HyperFlex. The first, the base is what they call HXDP, HyperFlex Data Platform, which is basically the HCI solution. It's the physical servers, the storage, all the compute power together, bringing it together with the network, and you have a software-based, hyperconverged solution, VM, whatever. And if you use HXDP standalone, you can run that on on vSphere or VMware vSphere or on Hyper-V.
Yep.
But what they added now on top of that is that thing called HXAP, which is the HyperFlex application platform, and it's basically it's a building block on top of HyperFlex, which gives the ability to run containers and probably other business capabilities.
Yeah, but it's an add-on, but it's a standalone add-on, so you cannot have mixed clusters. It's a complete new cluster in your environment on which they build on a Linux KVM environment the Kubernetes stack.
I've heard something like, I've heard of an HCI vendor which has been building something with KVM. That's really interesting.
It is. So yeah, there's others that thought it would be a great idea to build something for HCI on their own platform on a KVM base. And you can say whatever it is, but I think if you look at it from a Cisco perspective, I can understand the move that they're making. The only question I have is, like with the single pane of glass, couldn't you just pick up something like Project Pacific from VMware? Couldn't you just say, okay, we'll hook something into that we can give the developers, but also the operation side of things, something to build container clusters and that kind of stuff.
I agree with that. But what I've been thinking through the presentation, I didn't want to push too much on the presenter because he was getting a lot of information and feedback from us, or pushback, or whatever you want to call that. But what I'm asking myself is, what is Cisco trying to do here? Is it just something which is going to be isolated for HyperFlex, or are they looking at building, going the same route as Nutanix did, which is building a kind of a data platform on top of the HyperFlex, maybe because this thing can run on UCS as well, if you look at it.
Yeah, but I think they are not after the Nutanix way of thinking. So what I really think that they're doing is that they want to opt in on the Kubernetes side of things. Mm-hmm. So they really want to give the opportunity to build a, there we go again, cloud native environment for operations to easy provide that to the developers that are in-house and asking for that kind of environment. Yeah. I don't think, and I don't see Cisco doing a Nutanix kind of thing where they really push towards their own KVM based virtualization platform.
Okay, so we're getting a bit above time in this video, but I think it's important to talk about that because it totally makes sense to discuss these topics. If I look at, I don't want to make a parallel Nutanix versus Cisco, I think two different companies, different sizes, different origins, and so on. But if you look at it, even if Nutanix has started with the with an HCI solution and then has gone the route of hypervisor file, or rather storage data services with file blocks, whatever, and other stuff of this kind, then what they've been doing as well is that they've been trying to hook into IoT, file management, automation, and so on. And
yep.
And if you look at it, Cisco has a bit of that, right? They have they built IoT, but more on the hardware side. They do have a management with UCS Director and so on. So
I think if you really look at it from that side, Cisco has a much larger portfolio than Nutanix has, so they could build that. But for what I'm seeing right now, if I look at it from what I'm seeing now and what they told us today,
on the HCI side,
then I don't think they're trying to really get rid of the HyperFlex HCI solution. I think what they're really trying to do is provide the customers they have with a platform that is ready for cloud native applications as well.
Mm-hmm. And to get back to that, what they're doing with this solution. So as you said, KVM is there. They're using the open source version of KVM. They're going to use Kubernetes, so they're going to use the vanilla version of Kubernetes. And what they do is that they're selling that or proposing that as a stack, which is that they're taking care of the integration between the KVM hypervisor, the VM, and all the orchestration of Kubernetes, and making sure that the Kubernetes version is there and everything matches, so that they guarantee that it's working and you get support from that. So the audience is, we can say it, and you'll tell me what you think about it, but I think it's the enterprise, the mainstream enterprise customers.
And that's one of the things I've taken with me from Storage Field A19 as well, is that a couple of companies are really seeing and hearing from their customers that the move towards the cloud or to the public cloud that's still going on. It's not that the public cloud is not being used, but they're seeing customers moving back from the public cloud into their own private cloud. So providing the tools and the opportunities to do that is really important for the enterprise. So I think this is a great move by Cisco. Still work to be done, because I really didn't like to say it that way, they used InterSight to get into it, but I didn't like the way it looked and felt and that kind of stuff. So there's really work to be done.
It's true that the interface was really early stage, but again, it was a kind of a preview or a pre-preview.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, we can wish them to work on that side, and they say that around Q2 they will be granting limited access to that. So we wish them well and a lot of success with that.
Yep.
And with that, I think we're pretty much done, right?
I think so.
Perfect. So see you, and more content coming up tomorrow. Thank you, and stay tuned. Bye.
Okay, see you.